Hi everyone, it's Nicki here, and I have a video for you today. Now, I guess we're going to call this sort of a writer's update video, although at least for this one I'm planning to combine it with the Manuscript Monday tag for AuthorTube. This is the first one like this I've done, which is why I'm a bit hesitant about what I'm going to call it. Once I go and start editing, I'll have to design a little cover image for it, and then I'll make my mind up. But essentially, I'm going to come about once every 2 months and give you an update on my writing. This is something I've already been doing on my blog, just in the form of a little brief paragraph for each of my pen names and then a list of the contracted works and when they're coming out. So I thought I'll still keep doing that on my blog, but I thought I'd also turn it into a bit more of a chatty video for you as well. It's a bit more interesting than me just listing the books that are coming out. So as I said, I'm going to combine it with Manuscript Monday, at least for this one, and I'll just give you a little sneak peek about what I'm working on at present as well. But to kick us off, I thought I'd tell you some of the works that I currently have in edits. I'm in the middle of edits for a few pieces at the moment. So I've got a couple that are releasing at the end of this year, one in November, one in December, as part of 9 Star Press's holiday call. One of them is a story set around just before Christmas, and the other one is a New Year's Eve story. And we are pretty much done with edits. I mean, we've done 2 rounds of edits, that's all finished. I think we really just have a proofread left. So those are coming very soon. I'm anticipating, I've got a lot happening around the time they release my sister's wedding and various things. So I am anticipating combining them, although there's about I think it's about 20 days between them, so about 3 weeks between the 2 releases. I'm planning on combining the promo and just doing one blog tour for both of them, probably towards the time the second one comes out, just to keep my workload down a bit so that I can put on a decent blog tour and keep up with it while I've also got this other family stuff going on. So those are very close to completion. I'm really looking forward to seeing the cover art. I think from what I've heard, it's going to be a sort of generic cover art to do with the call, but I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited to see what that'll look like. Also in edits at the moment are 2 that are coming from Less Than 3 Press. One of them, Cursed with Claws, is going to be an individual release, and the other one, Damsel in Distress, is going to be in one of their anthologies. Now we've done, I think, just 1 round of edits on each of them so far, so they'll be coming, I assume, for a second round soon. Now these, I don't know when they're coming out. There was talk that one of them might be this year, but I don't know for certain. Less Than 3 Press are not as forward as some other presses about telling you the release dates on things, so it's all a bit up in the air until I hear something more definite from them. It could be any time. So one maybe this year, but definitely the other one next year, and maybe both of them early next year. We'll wait and see. I'll keep you posted if I find out more by the next video I make. And then I've got 3 works that will be going into edits very soon. So between now and when I film the next video, we'll be editing them. One of those, Full Marks with 9 Star Press. Now this is a work that previously released from another publisher who have now closed. It's a short story. It's going to be in one of 9 Star Press's anthologies. It didn't have much of a life with the last publisher before they closed. It was only out for a month or so before they shut their doors. So I'm looking forward to giving it a bit of a new lease of life with 9 Star. We haven't started editing yet, but the release date is, I believe, February next year. So I'm guessing we'll be editing in the next few months before the end of the year. And another one from 9 Star Press that I've been told will start editing late September, early October is Souls for Sale, which, if some of you follow my writing, will know that that's a book that previously came out from another publisher. Again, it's another publisher that's now closed, and 9 Star have taken it on to give it a second chance of life. So I'm really looking forward to getting into edits for that. Considering it's already been edited by the other publisher, I'm guessing it'll be pretty quick, easy edits. Most of my edits are, I tend to submit fairly clean manuscripts as much as possible, so this one in particular though should be a pretty nice easy run of edits. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to come up with for cover art. And I've been told a rough idea of about March for release for that. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll share more in future videos as we get closer. And the final one that we're going to start editing probably late September is my first novel, which I'm really thrilled about. It's a superhero story, and it's called Super For You, Bad For Me. It's coming from Dreamspinner Press. Now, the release date for this is probably not until around this time next year. The reason for that long release date is because the Dreamspinner, sorry, are including it in part of their new promotional venture with one of the big distributors over in the US. I'm very excited that my work's one of the ones that's been chosen for the first wave. It will hopefully get the story in front of some more mainstream buyers and readers. So I'm really excited to see what possibilities that holds for the release. It does mean we're getting everything ready really early, because it will appear in that promoter's catalogue early in the new year. So we had to have everything done and ready before that. And I'm actually really pleased for the long leading period, because that's going to give me time to really organise something great in terms of promotion. As soon as we got ARCs, I want to do a really big push with the blogs and really go all out on the promotion for this one, more than I've done before. So if you've got any suggestions, by the way, I'll just interrupt myself. If anyone's got any suggestions for things you'd like me to do as part of that promotion for the story, pop them below, because I'd love to hear them, and I'll consider everything. Depending on what money I've got and what facilities I've got to do them, I'll do my best to fit them in for you. If there's something you'd love to see as part of that promotion, whether it's a certain way of doing excerpts, something else you'd like, pop it below and I'll have a look. So as you can understand, I'm pretty damn excited about this release, which will be in about 12 months' time. I haven't got an exact date yet, but I was told around August, September next year. So what else is in the pipeline? In terms of contracted works, I have one more contracted that we haven't started edits for yet. That's Toils and Tricks, which is a Loki inspired story, Loki of Norse mythology, not of Marvel of course. A Loki inspired story that is coming out in another anthology from Less Than 3 Press. That one I don't think is coming out until probably later next year. We haven't started edits yet, but I'm guessing it will happen before too much longer. It's been contracted for a little while, so we will wait and see. In terms of other works, I mean, I've got a little collection of works at the moment that are essentially finished. I mean, I've probably got about 6 for each of my 2 pen names. And they vary. One's a novel, or a couple are novels, or novel length, a couple of novellas, the rest are all short stories. And they're all ones that are essentially finished and sitting there, and I'm just deciding what to do with them, who I want to submit to, or to whom I want to send them, whether I'm going to self-pub. I mean, I have said I'm not going to self-pub anymore, but I'm still in 2 minds regarding 1 or 2 of those pieces on that front. I do have a couple of ISBNs left over, so it just depends how I feel, whether I think I can do it without spending too much, because I don't have the money at the moment, or if I'm going to find a publisher for them. So one of those pieces I think I will submit before the end of the year for definite. It's another one that's been orphaned by publisher closure, so I probably am going to try that at another press, and we'll see. Hopefully they'll like it, and that one will come out again next year, have a new lease of life. With the others, I'm still deciding. So 1 or 2 of them, although I say essentially they will finish, 1 or 2 of them I think I might tweak a little bit, do 1 more round of changes on them, but we'll see. I mean, they're all just sort of in storage at the moment, if you like. And the thing is, I don't want to just submit them all. They're all essentially ready, but I don't want to just submit them all, because otherwise I'm just going to have, 10 works coming out all at the same time if they're accepted, and then I'll have a big drought with nothing to publish for a while when I write new stuff. So I do want to sort of drip submit them a little bit, so that I've still got a bit of a supply of works to submit over the next few months as well. So, which brings us really to the end of my talk for today, which is going to be what links us into the Manuscript Monday tag on the AuthorTube. So Manuscript Monday, we talk about our current work in progress. Now, often I have 2 or 3 works on the go at one time, but for the moment I'm only concentrating on 1, which is another piece that I think will be a second novel after the superhero one I just mentioned. Completely unrelated. I'm not suggesting it's a series, but most of my work has been short stories and novellas, so starting to write longer novel is still quite new for me. This is a paranormal piece. It's going to feature witches and vampires and fae. There's going to be a bit of a mystery element to it as well. It's going to look at a hybrid character and how he struggles to fit into society given his pedigree, his birth, but how he has to overcome that in order to solve the mystery that's taking place and save the day. So I don't want to say too much. I'm very secretive, I ought to say. I mean, the reason I haven't done these manuscript Mondays before, and the reason I sort of and ah about doing them, is that I'm very secretive about my work until it's submitted to a publisher. Once it's contracted, I'll talk about it happily, but I'm really quite, I kind of hoard my work until it's actually ready to go out to the public. I don't know why, it's just how I am. I don't really have beta readers that much. I'm very, very secretive. So the fact I share anything with you is a good step forward for me. So I have been working though. I'm about 15,000 words into this story so far, and I think it will be around a 60 to 70,000 word piece. So I'm about a quarter of the way through. I'm really hoping to have a first draft finished before the end of the year, but we'll see how it goes. One thing that has distracted me from writing the last few days is that I decided one of my characters needed a family crest, and I got really distracted trying to think what that family crest would look like. So in order to be able to move on and get on with the actual writing of the story, I've stopped to design one. So I finished inking it the other day, so here it is. A little brief glance at it there. I'm going to colour it still. So I'd already done a bit of heraldic symbol research for a previous story, so I went back and looked at that again, just so I make sure that the images on the family crest are relevant to the character and reflect his personality and his part in the story, which is something I like to do. I like symbolism. I like names to represent the characters' personalities and their role in the piece as well. I'm very big on symbolism, and so this was a great piece. It was great fun. I'm going to finish inking it and colouring it in the next couple of days, and then hopefully I can concentrate on the story itself again. I have also been designing floor plans for some of the main areas in which the story takes place. And I mean, although in some way that's a distraction, it's also quite helpful, because as I'm planning events taking place in one of the characters' houses and that, it's good to know how you get from one room to the other. At the moment I've just scribbled them in pen, although I think I found a couple of places online where you can, for free, draw them up, make them look a bit neater, so I might do that as well in the next week or so, get that out of my system. So that's about all for today. I'm planning to come back probably every 2 months with these. I don't think I've got enough to tell you to bother doing them every month, but we'll see. If I find that I have got news, then I might do that. But at the moment I'm going to do them every 2 months, which ties in with when I also send out my author newsletters and things like that, and when I put my blog posts up with my writing updates. So for now I'll go bi-monthly, just to tie everything in together. My newsletter, I share some of the same stuff I'm going to talk about here, but I also do a load of exclusive snippets of some of my works and things. So if that's something that interests you, head to my blog. You can subscribe to my newsletter there. You'll get little free flash reads, little excerpts from stuff I'm working on, which you won't normally see anywhere else. So if that interests you, it's worth signing up for that newsletter. I only send them out once every 2 months, plus an occasional one if I've got a major release to tell you about, so I won't overload you with stuff. But do check out that on my blog. In terms of content, I'm just going to keep with these videos telling you about what's in edits, what's forthcoming, what I'm working on now when I can get through my little secrecy bubble that I usually keep around it. If there's anything else that you'd like me to talk about in these videos, pop it in the comments below, and if I can, I will. And sometimes I don't know all the details like release dates because I haven't heard from the publisher on it and things yet, but where I can share information, I'll answer your questions. For now, the only thing left to say is that I have a recent new release that came out this month. It's under my Nicki Markus pen name, so it's an MF story. It's historical, Victorian era, and there's a bit of an element of steampunk, punk in it as well. It's as I said, novella length, so it's a fairly short read, you know, around the 100-page mark. It's called Her Majesty's Milken, and I will pop a little link below if you want to find out more about that. But it's out now from Amazon and everywhere, so do check it out. I will end there, but I look forward to seeing you all again very soon for another video. Bye for now.